Hi, I'm Sherry McGill, and you're watching Lessons Learned. Okay, welcome back to week 4 of the Vintage Mystery Quilt Along. And today I have chosen from Encyclopedia of Pieced Quilt Patterns in the pattern category of 4-patch with pinwheels, and it's this one right here in the top. Bring it a little closer. This one is called Whirlwind, and it's from a Coates and Clark publication in 1941. So I have my pattern worked out here in my measurements after a lot of going back and forth on what should be the correct measurements for our block starting out, and I want to thank Ernest Sewell for brainstorming with me on this so that I could get this right. Okay, so we're going to have 2 7-inch background squares, and in my case that's going to be the muslin, and then my solid is this lovely coral color, and then I have another Figo print for the print square. So we only need 2 7-inch of this, 1 7 1/4, and 1 7 1/4 of our colored fabric. So I'm going to spare you the misery of watching me iron and cut this, and I'll be right back. So now I have all my cutting done. I have 2 of the background squares at 7 inches and 1 each of the print and the solid at 7 1/4 inch. So 7, 7 1/4. And then I also, while I was at it, I cut out my squares for my 9-patch, 5 background, and 4 print. I'm just going to lay those over to the side because we don't have to do anything more to them. But these we do. So take your 2 background squares and lay them on top of each other evenly, and then just cut once from corner to corner, and that will result in 4 background pieces for your Whirlwind block. Okay, now these 2 you only need to cut, well, you need to cut twice, and you can just lay them on top of each other. Doesn't really matter, right sides together, wrong sides together, whatever. And you're going to cut twice on these. So you're going to do this cut and then turn it and do this cut. So I have 4 of each of those now. And then what I suggest doing, I strongly suggest doing these as half square triangles does not work out well, because you would have to make way more than you need to get the configuration to come out right. I don't know how else to explain that to you other than trust me on that, because I've done several practice blocks, and that's just the way it is. So what we're going to do is attach these 2 blocks first here, iron that open, and then attach this to this. Okay, so let me go ahead and lay these out so you can get a good feel for what I'm talking about. And I still struggled trying to get them to lay right. So anyway, just keep looking at it, and if you have to take a black and white picture of it or something, just make sure you have a pinwheel right here, and you should be okay. Alright, so here's how you need to put this together. Just like I said, run a seam here and press it open, and then run this unit along this one and sew it. Press it open. Here, and then here, 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 and here. Then you can put this one to this one down this line, and this one to this one down this line. And once you have those pressed open, then you can take this unit, pull it over the top of this one, and sew it together. So I'm going to go do that. And I will also do my 9 patch. Okay. Be right back. Alright, so here we are with our Whirlwind block all trimmed and starched and finished in the 9 patch. And some of my birds even showed up. There's one there. There's one over here. I could probably turn that this way. I may have it upside down to you. But there's one here and one here. So it doesn't matter. They're going to be in different places in the quilt anyway. But I thought they turned out really cute. Now, I did not show you the sewing, but I do want to mention some things about the sewing. When you have a block like this, where you're meeting 2 diagonal seams, you don't want to stretch on any of these. This is a bad example. For example, let me get this out of the way so I can show you. The lengthwise of a piece of fabric has the selvage on the bottom. Now this is for all you newbies. Everybody else that has sewn for a long time, you already know this, but just briefly for the new people, it has the least amount of stretch this way. There's almost no stretch whatsoever. And then the width of the fabric, you know, your 42-inch width, it has some. Actually, it has quite a bit. And then also, when you're on the diagonal, it really has stretch. So when you're putting your triangles together here, you don't want to do any kind of stretching. And you don't, when you cut your triangles out like this individually, you don't have to trim them. There's no reason to trim them like you do a half square triangle. So it's important that you get your cutting accurate always, but especially in this case. So just be aware of that when we're working with bias areas on our quilt blocks. You don't want to stretch them. Okay, and then mine came together pretty good here. Not too bad. And if you have trouble with yours meeting up, you can always unstitch just a little piece of it and kind of move and ease it over whichever direction it needs to go. So it doesn't mean your block is a disaster and you can't fix it. You can fix that. And then just make sure it's 12.5 at this stage. So there we have it. Whirlwind. Vintage block number 4. Week number 4. And we will be back soon. 1 week we will have a number 5 block. So stay tuned and email me or leave comments with any questions that you might have about this block. And as always, the PDF is in the description box that you can print off. All right, thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.